I bet you can hear now. I hate when I do this. I hate when I do this. Thank you so much. Can you hear me now? Hopefully you can. So I I'm trying to make my eyes open. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me that I hadn't turned on the microphone because not feeling so good. It's surprising. So, hi, everybody. I can't believe it's December 16th. It's so funny because we had more time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so I'm putting lotion on. Whew, it's dry in the house. We still have patches of snow outside, even though it's rained for 2 days. But so let's see. We've got Patty Chamberlain is here. How is my Kinsey girl? I hope she's feeling better, sweetie. And most of you should get your packages Monday. Michelle's going to get hers Tuesday because that was a heavy book. But I'm very excited for y'all to get your stuff. And I've been working today. Um, Today I was going to try to download a video and do what they call a premiere because I've got sun in my eyes and I can't concentrate. Hold on just a second, guys. Ooh. Drop this down just a touch more. Anyway. And while I'm thinking of it, I wanted to tell you next week's live stream is probably going to be on Christmas Eve or else it'll be on that Sunday night because I have a function in the afternoon. So I know some of you probably have to work Christmas Eve. So let's see if I can maybe do it Sunday evening around 7. Does that sound okay for y'all? And if you can't make it, I understand. So I just hate to ever cancel. Mark was like, why are you doing this? You don't feel good today. And I said, because several things. I like you to be able to count on me. And it's taking me a while to do this landscape, although I've got the image and I'm just trying to get the details finished. So, but I want you to be able to count on me. And if I say I'm going to do something, I want to make sure to do it. Oh, can you see the sun coming in? It's giving me, I look like a tiger. That's cool. Let me get this again. Ugh. My daughter called me yesterday, and it was so hard to talk because you're not breathing good. It's hard to speak. Okay, let's see. Okay, think I got it now. Did we fix it? I think we did. So I have my holiday necklace on, but I don't have my Charlotte here. I miss her. That was so much fun last week, and I want to thank you all for making her feel so welcome. I know that she feels so grown up, and it amazes me when she's got a quick wit to her. So heaven help the law when she becomes a lawyer. She's going to let them all know what it's supposed to be. Trying to find my trash can, clean up around here. All right, let's see what y'all are saying. Oh, do you see that? I will show you that. And it's unique in a way too. Hold on. My chair is rolling on a tote. And this is really unique. And whoa, how did I almost knock over my water? Okay. I think did I show you this already? Because I remember talking about I did not do a good job with my contrast. And, I believe in telling you the good things and the bad things with these quilts because that's how you learn. I don't look at it as I'm being rough on my quilt or anything. And if you show me your quilt, I won't say a word except I'll look at all the lovely things you have done with it. But for y'all, I feel like it's important. It's hot. It's important to show you what things I wish I had done differently, because then maybe you can avoid those in your quilt. So here it is. And like I say, I wish I had done a better contrast with the star because it's not that noticeable. And I put a lot of work into that. I tried doing some quilting to kind of set it off. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. Hold on, guys. Pardon me. Oh, it's been a night. Aren't you glad we don't have germavision? Because, anyway, I just got chills when I sneezed. Okay, so what I wanted to show you about this that I think is pretty cool is see these little holly berry buttons? I made them myself out of polymer clay, and I have some. Hold on, let me pull them out of this drawer for you. I wanted buttons that look like holly, and this was back. I made this 10 years ago, so it was back before you could find such interesting buttons. So here they are, and I made them out of polymer clay and then baked them. And see how I made a little shank on them, and I still have, a good number left over. But then that way I could put them on and it didn't cost me anything. I mean, I have the polymer clay. It's been sitting around for years. But I'm pretty tickled with this. I don't remember what the pattern is. I'm so sorry. But I do like that I used the light color bobbin thread for this area because it gives you a chance to see how much quilting I actually did in this. So I count this quilt as a great success, even though I should have paid more attention to contrast for the center. So I love that. And in fact, I got it out today because I said I need to take it upstairs and hang it. My grandkids did decorating when they were here last week, and I haven't done anything more since. So, all right. So let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Patty. And I hope you and Kinsey like what we said. Thanks to Miss Bonnie, who is a treasure. And Bonnie, I can't wait to see what you think of your necklace. I tried to pick something that you said was in your favorite color scheme. So when I send these prizes out, I just want you to know it's just a way for me to use Bonnie's gifts to us to thank you for being a part of our time to quilt. I feel like that we are such a fun online quilting bee. And I know for me, it's wonderful. And it's nice to be able to be in my own home and warm and safe, no matter what the weather does outside. And we can have fun. And we do. We laugh a lot. And I always leave here feeling so good. So thank you. I loved when I ran a quilt guild for 9 years, but it became more work than fun. And I was doing too much, I admit. And but they're doing great. I mean, they haven't missed a beat. But it's nice for me to have something, a new path and new outlet. And you guys are amazing. Oh, Charlotte. Hi, you like my shirt, Charlotte? Isn't that pretty? You don't see Nana often wearing sweatshirts, honey, because I'm a hot girl. I get a little warm. So, but I've got a cold. I've got to be blowing my nose all day. But it's more than just a cold. My tummy is involved, too. You know, when you sit there and your tummy is louder than the TV, you know something's going on. So... But we had Chinese last night because I said, I want some wonton soup. And that makes me feel better. But, oh, Charlotte, I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so glad that you feel so comfortable. I've been bragging on you because, you are just... Your mom has raised you right, honey, and you're a smart girl and a talented girl, and I love how you feel comfortable in whatever situation to talk and enjoy. So it's not as fun as having you here, but I'm glad you're on the computer. And her other grandparents who drive all the way down here from Moonsopple, Pennsylvania. I love the town names of Pennsylvania. Are they cool or what? But they are such good grandparents. They drive, I don't know, 8, 9 hours to get here and through snow and everything else. But they came down to see their son's version of a Christmas Carol that he put on in his high school. He's the band director. And then they had come down to see Charlotte's concert. But Charlotte, I don't know. You didn't have your concert because school was canceled all week. So you had Chinese last night too. That's great, Patty. When I get in a mood for it, I just love it. So, Anne's here. Anne Shellbear. I'm not sure how you say your name, Shellbear, but Halshoppel, not their street name must have Moon something in it. Halshoppel, please tell them I'm sorry. But no, his parents are pretty amazing. And you know what? They didn't mind, especially when I decided 14 years ago to move down here to North Carolina. It made their son and my daughter even farther from them, and they were so good about it. We've tried to convince them to move down here, but Dave says, it's too hot down there. And we look at Halshoppel and think, oh, it's too cold up there. But I got to tell you about this man. Charlotte, tell your grandparents, I hope they don't mind. Dave is the most hardworking guy you've ever seen in your life. And he stacks the most gorgeous wood pile you'd ever want to see. All the bark sides facing up to shed off the rain. And I mean, it's just perfection, it's just like every little thing is put in as carefully. And he must go through just, I don't know, how many cords a year does he go through? 4, 5, 6? He has a wood furnace in his shell and plus the bear. Okay, bear. Good. Okay, shell bear. Good. Okay, cool. And because I always look at it and go, I wonder exactly how. But, and Anne, I don't know if you noticed, but with Charlotte, I emphasized the Anne with an E for my friend Anne. Because, us Annes, although it's my middle name, we like the Anne with an E, Anne of Green Gables kind of thing. Yeah. So, Charlotte, I had Anne first. Sorry. But anyway, Anne with an E. That's it. So... I'm sorry. It's hard to breathe. It's hard to talk at the same time. I was up till 3 because I was like, oh gosh, I hate to go to sleep because you know how, when you can't breathe out of your nose and you breathe out of your mouth, I thought I'll wake up today and feel miserable. But Patty is Ann, no E. Well, Patty, we'll make you an honorary sister of the Anns with an E. Okay, that'll work, Patty. So... Patricia Ann, Deborah Ann. I don't know. Ann might be her first name. So, yeah, Patty's our official sister. So, I've got some exciting things to show you. And, now I'm trusting you guys to be honest with this question. But before I get to that, did I show you these good? These are the totes that our volunteer made for us this year. And I just think they're amazing. And she does the embroidery. I purchased the totes. I'm trying to think of the company because I get them for under $2 a piece. And they're the non-woven because, real canvas is expensive, but we get them. They have a big pocket. They've got a zippered top, and they're big. They're very big. But her name is Carol Hodges, and I want to put a shout out to Carol because does she do a wonderful job. Every year she does these, and I just love her to bits for it. Yeah, I told Anne I wasn't going to tell anybody it wasn't official, her Anne with an E, because she's allowed. She's English, and they're allowed to do this stuff. I fully believe it. So I got two packages from Miss Bonnie this week. And I'm going to have a raffle for coffee fabric. So you coffee lovers, be looking for this. I will definitely be sending that out. I love the smell of coffee, but I don't like the taste of it. I'm weird. But just today, to kind of soothe my throat, Mark made me some diluted, what is that kind of Honey Crisp apple cider? And he heated it up. Oh, that was so good. No tea. I know. What's that about? So someone on here recently was talking about needing some, I forgot what this is. It's the stuff you put in, is it? Oh, you're going to have to help me, Bonnie. Yeah, I'm with Charlotte. I like hot chocolate too. It's the batting that has a metallic and so bright. Thank you, Bonnie. Somebody on here was talking about needing some Insulbright. Do you remember who you are? We thought it might be one of the Patties. We're not sure. But was there someone on here that talked about needing some Insulbright? It was one of the Patties, but we're not sure which one. Might have been, if it's not you, Patty Chamberlain, it might be Busy Pat. It was you? Okay, because Bonnie sent us some. So if you don't have it yet, I will see if I can send this. Did you get any yet? She put a good sized piece in here. So, oh yeah, there are two pieces. I haven't even opened the bag. There are two pieces. Okay, good. Now, did you remember how much you need? Because maybe I can use one piece, send one piece to you, and the other piece we can do is, I have their addresses, and I won't show them on the computer this time. I hate those brain farts. So, and boy, I have them more and more the older I get. So I ordered something to show you. And I did open it this time because I've been getting in. One piece is good for Patty. Okay. I'll send one piece with Patty, and then we can do the other one. So what I have, you're very welcome, Patty. And your package, I think you probably got your email with your tracking number, and that should be in there tomorrow. They are large. Boy, Bonnie is so generous. Bonnie, we love you. Just please know that we love you. I am so tickled. Let me see if there's something else, but I'm so tickled that all of y'all are here. Oh, so yeah, there is something else in here. But I put an order in this week or a week ago to Martelli. Okay. Had my address on it. I don't care. All right. So I put an order into Martelli Enterprises. And if you remember, they are the makers of my very favorite, oh well, I don't see it today and I'm not going to wear that. They're makers of my very favorite rotary cutter. And I used to have really bad carpal tunnel. I mean, to the point of my hand going numb. And it was just in my left hand because when I worked for the museum, I really did a number on this wrist. And my nerve was like 7 times bigger than it should have been. And sadly, don't wait too long if you have carpal tunnel. because I have lost some of that muscle has atrophied. You can see that this muscle's plumper than that one. And once that muscle starts atrophying, you don't get it back. So, but anyway, don't you like how I add all this little medical stuff? And like, oh, I'm going to send a picture of me with shingles to the group website, because if you are over 60 and haven't had your shingles shot, please, darlings, think about getting it. I had shingles up over this eye and into my head, and I could have lost my vision. I got very lucky that it didn't break out on my cornea, or I would have lost my vision. So, oh, these are even sturdier. Hey, Melissa, I don't know if you ordered any of these, but these are even sturdier. Boy, this will last forever. It is a redesign. How cool. So these are the Martelli. This is for a left-hander because I'm left-handed. But look at how sturdy. They have really improved these, and I thought they were perfect before. So what I like about this is, see how when I hold it and you put your finger right on this part, it's a safety to keep you away from the blade. But if you see when I hold it in my hand, it keeps my hand level. That is so important for your wrist health, because when your carpal tunnel area gets inflamed and then the nerve gets inflamed, it really puts pressure. What it is, it's you've got tendons and ligaments, and there's a little path for your nerve that controls your hand. When that gets all inflamed, it starts pinching the nerve, and then the nerve gets inflamed, and then you don't have a very good. Oh, thank you. So that's my daughter, Becky. Hi, sweetheart. And tell Dave we told everybody about how good he stacks firewood. And then Millie, his wife, is sweet as can be. And she sent me a Christmas card this year, and I didn't send any out, but I think they're so wonderful. And she takes really good care of my daughter. And she is a hard worker herself too. Oh boy, these people know, and they're campers like I am. So campers are good people. But I'm very lucky that I have really good. How would I say this? In-laws from my daughter. So, now Evan's in here. I should have known he'd have to get in here. How you doing, Stinky? You're so funny. Bonnie, you had shingles too. Yeah, mine went right up and over. I mean, at one point I looked like a boxer. It was just my eye was swollen shut. And you're right. You get nerve, like right here, really hurts still. And, Evan, it's so good seeing you. So, Evan, I bet your mom was real proud of your wreaths and your icicles. So, but anyway, get your shingle shot if you haven't had it. Since I had shingles about 4 years ago, she said that, I don't have to have a shot right away, but I'm going to make sure I get my shot because I don't ever want it again. Diane 57 is here. So anyway, the reason I bought not one, but two of these is the one I was using finally got worn out. And it looks like this is a lot sturdier. It won't happen. Although I used the other one for, 7 years straight. But my other one, the the center nut that holds the blade got worn. So my blade was kind of doing a thump. It wasn't doing a round circle. You've had shingles twice. Oh, Diane. Oh, good, Charlotte. I'm so glad you got all your... Charlotte ended up making 14 of those wreaths. I think she's the wreath-making champion. And girls, it's just leftover cotton batting cut into like inch and a half square, and folded in half and put on wire. So that was so simple and free. But anyway, back to these. I noticed that I said, Mark, can you check this? Because it's doing wavy cutting and that never had done that. And he found out that instead of rolling smoothly, it was kind of going with the thumb, which was giving me away. So I knew that couldn't be fixed. So I ended up looking around for Martelli because these can cost $19 to $24. And in my journey to look around, Martelli was having a sale. They were $14.99 maybe each. So Mark said, get two. And I did. I love it when he says, honey, get more. Get another one. So anyway, way to go, Charlotte. And I'm so glad Evan got, so this one's going to go in the drawer for later, and this one's going to get used. And you push that. It's just a little lever that you push, and it shows the blade. Like I say, you put your hand here. The beauty of these for me is I have a bad lower back. I have some degenerated discs, and I can sit down and do my cutting, which saves my back. So I'm I'm a big fan of these. In fact, they sent and said, we sent you your cutters. Are you happy? And I said, look, I'm promoting you guys on my YouTube channel because y'all are so good. So Evan likes pandas. I should have known Evan sneaked back in. You're so cute. It was so funny after they went home Tuesday evening. We said, it sure is quiet. And it was kind of sad for a moment. But then when we got to watch TV without any interruptions, then it was okay again. But it was like, there's something about children noise in a house that makes it pretty special. Good job. Evan is very smart. Evan taught himself how to read at age 4. So, like, spooky, how did he do that? So, anyway. Oh, I see here. Yes. I just read Bonnie's card again. And she said there were 2 cuts and I had forgotten already. So anyway, so I got my Martelli cutters, $14.99. Always a good thing. And so, Michelle, you had shingles too. Oh, gee, hon. In fact, Michelle went with me, took me to go get my carpal tunnel surgery. And she has seen me drunk on drugs, and it probably wasn't a pretty sight, but they tell you don't use your hand at all. And in my drugged state, I was trying to pull my pants up. She's like, Deb, stop, don't. But good old Michelle, I tell you what, she knows where all the bodies are buried with me, you know? That's a good friend. Hold on to a friend like that. So... oh, good, Patty Chamberlain. Shingles is a pain you do not want. I mean, you might as well set your face on fire or whatever part of the body has shingles. Yeah, celiac disease. Charlotte she's an expert on nausea and the big D. So aren't you glad I said that, Charlotte? So anyway, all right, so I've put a little bit more work into the LaFleur. So you can see here, I've done 2 of these big things. But with my cold, I have, oh yeah, you're so happy. Oh, Charlotte, what are you going to do with a Nana? I'll tell you. But around your waist. Oh, I bet you didn't want anything touching your waist then. So, are you ready to see what I've done? All right. The instructions were just the briefest of instructions and didn't really tell you what you needed to do. So, for block A, I have drawn you templates. And the dotted lines are where the finish line is going to be. The solid lines are the cutting lines. So if you have template plastic, you can lay the template plastic on top and trace with a Sharpie marker. Yay for templates. And see, I put them in one piece too, not separate pieces. I made them as simple as I could. So, and then they're all labeled with what block, whether it's block A or B, and what number. And then in this sheet, I have laid out where the numbers go. So you'll get a copy of that. And let me see here. Okay, got block A. Now I need block B. Ready to see block B templates? Here is block B templates. Thank you. Yeah, I've never, you know me, I'm cheap. I don't want to waste paper. I don't want to waste fabric, anything. And if you don't have template plastic, don't run out and buy it. You can use cardboard. Use cereal box cardboard. You know what I do? I save plastic from buying, you know, when you get something from the store that, you know, this has plastic you could use. And, you know, right in here, think you could get quite a few templates right off this plastic. So I'm a big reuser of plastic because, you know, plastic will last a lot of years in the landfill. Why not use it for something unique? So you'll get this page, and that is for the second block. And then I didn't stop there because I was on a roll. And I have to be busy, even though I didn't feel good to be busy getting up or down. So what I did, I love doing this, guys. And what I did is I did an enlargement of this because, I'm sorry, this is not big enough for you to really see what's going on. So I did an enlargement. This is block A. This is block B. And that way you can see where exactly they used the fabrics. Couple things I will tell you. They didn't use a rosebud fabric on the end of that, but I wanted all of it to have rosebud fabric. So I see it here. So I use black for this little fleur-de-lis, black for the center ring around, black for any little piece of stem. See where it's just a stem? I used black for that. Then I used a pattern, black with a pattern on it for this, for these, that part of the fleur-de-lis. Now, I use green fabric for the center of this flower right there. And then I used my pink again in the very middle because I wanted to bounce a little more color into this because it is very kind of monochromatic in a way. But you see what I'm saying? And then for all of these, I used, and it doesn't really want to show up on this bright thing, but it's a peachy beige. So, and I used green for the center. So I didn't want to confuse you with that. So I put instructions on the top of this enlargement. And then, because I was having fun, I wrote you out instructions. And these instructions include the amount of fabric you're going to need and to give you a summary of the cutting and to suggest how you might want to applique these. And I list the types of applique. When we have our Sunday sew-in, then I will give you examples of all the different appliques so you can figure what you want. So I will be sending these out. I will, for anybody that's on our Yahoo site, I'll put them in the files there. I will also put a link to the pattern because I can't give you her pattern. Even though it was free on the RJR sites, I'm nervous. So I'm going to give you a link. And then I don't want to step on her toes. Actually, there is a corner. Yeah, it would be beautiful cornerstone. The quilt does come with a cornerstone. And because it'll have, a 6-inch or 5.5-inch border that I use as my focus fabric, and big print, whatever, nice, exciting, fabric. And in the four corners of the quilt, it comes with a pattern for a cornerstone. But it's really pretty. And what you end up doing on our if you want to make this, you don't have to make this. If you've got too many irons in the fire, I understand. But Bonnie liked it. I loved it. Melissa loved it and was like, hey, how can we get together and work on this? But you see, the back is just a 9-patch. So you are going to make 13 9-patches and then some half triangle, quarter triangle 9-patches. They're not going to be really 9 patches because they're going to be cut in half. But anyway, so I give you all the instructions for that. And but I want to thank again Bobby Ashley. Beautiful, beautiful pattern. And I looked. Oh, bye, Charlotte. Bye. Oh, it's Evan. Okay, Evan says I have to go. And bye, everyone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, Evan. Bye, sweetie. So it's just using the stitch on the raw edge. Would the templates be smaller? Yes. What you then would do is cut your templates on that dotted line. Because that was an excellent question, Patty. Let's see. Oh, Charlotte has to go too. Bye, sweetie. Merry Christmas, honey, and I will see you Christmas Day. So let me show you this template again. So if you were going to do raw edge applique, then you cut on the dotted line. Make your templates on the dotted line. And because this is just, I do needle turn by hand, and I have to have an amount to turn in. So this is not a full 1/4 of an inch, and it's a little bigger than 1/8. So I kind of made it what works for me, because I thought if it works for me, it might work for you. Let's say you wanted to do freezer paper. You would then cut your templates up to the dotted line. That's just for the freezer paper, because you cut the fabric, the full size, and you fold over and press or glue onto the freezer paper so that you bring those edges over. So, yep. So your fusible would also be cut on the dotted line, but your fabric on the solid line so that you have room to tuck it over. My hand lotion smells good. So, all right. What have we, any other, y'all are asking great questions. So anyway, I'm really tickled that I got all of that done. So I'm going to go ahead and post them on our website. Now let's say you don't belong to our website. Well, if you don't, then you shoot me an email, our time, to quilt@twc.com, and I will send them to you, because I've already got them. I've got them in PDF files. That way everybody can open them, because just about everybody has Adobe Acrobat or access to that kind of thing. And I will send these to you. And I will also send you the link, because I want you to go get the pattern from the original source. And to me, that's important. I value quilt designers, and I want them to get their credit, their due. And the only reason I feel comfortable elaborating on all of this pattern is because it was out in the free domain. If it was something you had to purchase, then I wouldn't mess up that. But her pattern is so gorgeous that I want to make it available to anybody who would like to make it. Also, remember, you can make this in any color line you want, any colorway. When I saw the original pictures, I thought it was stunning. So, and as it worked out, that was the prettiest focus fabric I could find I was at Pineapple Fabrics that day. So, but you can do it bright, and you can do it rainbow, you can do it anything. You could do it two colors, blue and white, red and white. You could make it a Christmas quilt. I mean, with all the fleur-de-lis, I think it would look lovely as Christmas quilt. So let me get, I'm going to run real quick and get you a link because I saw the neatest thing. And it was Scandinavian folded fabric star ornament. And this guy is a real cutie pie. And his name is Mr. Domestic. And I'm going to copy his link to his YouTube site. And I love crafting. So Bonnie gave us the link, one of his links, and I found him fascinating. I've already been through 10 of his YouTube videos. So I want to promote him on our site. Let me copy this. And yes, he has so many cute ones. So many. So this one I was going to try to have do with us today, but honestly, I wasn't up to it. And what you would do is you would take Christmas fabric or just pretty colors. He used 2 different colors of blue, and it would be better. You either starch them really well, or you could put fusible interfacing on the back to stiffen them. And then what you're going to do is take a piece like this. You're going to fold in to the middle on either side, then fold it one more time. So that way all raw edges are encased, and then you give it a good press. And I think he said he used 3 or 4 inches by 16 inches, something like that, or 12 or 13 inches. And then he does a really cute folded star. And just have a little Elmer's glue bottle or whatever your favorite white glue. And so if you use that shortcut link to his YouTube channel, I think you would enjoy it. And I think it's something that older children could handle. So I'm sorry I didn't have that ready to show you. And did y'all know that Bonnie let me keep it? I keep thinking I need to put this fabric away, but it's just too precious, and I just keep it nearby because I love to pet it, you know. So, oh, you saw that too, Michelle. Isn't that fun? This year, I mean, I made all the grandkids and we went ahead and used up all the pipe cleaners and made the icicles. I went ahead and cut the pipe cleaners in half too, because I said no one needs a icicle this long, and that way it made twice as many. We still had a few beads left over, and then I made the batting square wreaths, and boy, we went to town with the glitter. We glitzed them up. So the second envelope. Is it these Dresden forms? Oh, you have a link, Christmas trees from Dollar Tree. But I love these little Dresden tree samples. I think those are, that is awesome. And they fit on a 12-inch square. But I didn't know if these were supposed to stay for me. But I kind of want to hold on to them for a little bit, at least, maybe to trace them. But now, if you ever send me hexagons, I'll pass them on. Hexagons are on my hell no list. No way bucket list. No sunbonnet shoes, no hexagons. Is there something else maybe? I used to have on there applique and hand sewing. Oh, please. I had to take those puppies right off that list. Oh, Bonnie, you're so good to me. I was excited. I felt like a Santa. I had a tote with all 6 packages to mail. And Anne, you got your Anne Shellbear. You got your tracking number. So you know I really, really did send it. I tucked a couple extra things in there for you, too. I even tucked in one of my patterns to give her. That's how bad I felt. So, oh, and for Bonnie, besides the necklace I made you, I tucked in my latest fabric. So, oh, that's cool. Did you see the coffee fabric that was in one of them? So, I'm going to be looking for, will it fit in your mailbox? It was about an 8.5 by 11 size, maybe just a touch smaller than 8.5 by 11. So hopefully it will fit. So yeah, I think it was just a touch smaller than 8.5 by 11. You know, when I went to mail the book for Michelle, she said, that'll be $10. And I said, hello? She said, that's because it was heavy. That, you know, boy, does Eleanor Burns write heavy books. Wonderful, but heavy. And I said, oh, darn. She said, well, I can send it media mail. Is it just a book? And I said, yes, ma'am, it's just a book. So it dropped it back down into the 3s. And I was very happy. So, you know, I know the post office needs to charge this. And, you know, for what they charge, you can't even drive across town. I understand. It's just expensive. So, yeah, the media, I think, does that mean the media rate? I wanted to use it for Patty Chamberlain's, but I had tucked some fabric in. And I'm so honest, I'm like, no, it has some fabric in it. So I couldn't use that for hers. But I said, Mackenzie needs that. So Mackenzie needs it. But anyway, Bonnie, you're a dear to send us all that. So, oh, shoot. I don't think I showed y'all, but remember I got this from, maybe I got it from Pineapple Fabrics. I did make Christmas tags for gifts with these. And I went online and typed in free templates for gift tags. And sure enough, some popped up. And I used the ones that were close together, wouldn't waste much cardstock, because I printed them on cardstock, and then I glued these on them. So I cut them to the right size, and they are really cute. Mark said, why are you can buy the little self-stick from the dollar store. You know me. It's got to be fun. I should have put some in y'all's gifts. And I'm sorry, I was in a real big hurry, and I didn't put any special little notes. You know, I'm so lucky. Bonnie always puts lovely notes and cards in with hers, but sorry, I didn't have time. I am not the queen of nice that Bonnie is, you know. I am the queen of get it done. So anyway, Michelle, I think Tuesday is the day your book is coming. First, they tried to scare me by saying it could take 2 weeks. But then when I looked, it said Tuesday. So let's hope. I'll talk about it again. Hey, it's a quilt that's finished. I love talking about quilts that are finished. In fact, I'm trying to work on my grandson's because I wanted to be able to get it to him by the end of next week, and I don't know if I'm going to make it. But anyway, this is, I don't remember the pattern. I'm sorry. But it has this pinwheel star in the center. And I was telling them, and that I wish I had put more contrast in the star, because unfortunately the star kind of gets lost. And then I did applique, and I did this by hand, but honestly I went back over, I used gold metallic thread. I forgot to tell you that. But I used gold metallic thread on all the dark parts, and then used a creamy off-white on the light parts. And I made like feather wreaths in the squares and stuff. And in here, I quilted. Let me see if I can bring this closer. Hold on, guys. Don't mean to make you sick. All right, let's see if you can see this. Let me bring it in a little closer. and bring my light over. But here is my feathered wreath. And this is only, 3.5 inches. Then I did with the gold thread, I did holly leaves and berries. And like with here, I put the, what do you call this? Boy, you can tell I don't feel good. I put this in gold and then outlined, and when I did my ribbon, I just kind of did a zigzag. But everywhere that was dark, I used the gold. And on the back, I used a matching for this part. And I was telling them I used light in the light areas, a light bobbin, but it's kind of nice because then you get to see all that work I put into the quilting. So, and what I was telling them that was the neatest part is see my holly berries? I made this years ago before they had such cool buttons everywhere. I made these buttons out of polymer clay, and I formed them, put a shank on them, put a hole in the shank, baked them, and then glazed them. And they have been on this quilt for years. And I will show you. Whoops. Don't go away. I did not bring Kiwi down because I'm just not up to watching her today. But here, whoops, let it focus. Here is one of the buttons I made. And I tried to make them look like a berry on the front. Then made the shank and put a hole in the shank. So, and I've still got plenty. I might have to make another one of them. But anyway, but they work out pretty good. If you bake them right, you handle them right, they're pretty sturdy. So, oops. Let me back out. Whoops, the other way. Woo. Okay. All right, guys. Lamp. Okay. Yeah. Now I look halfway human. If only I felt halfway human. So, let's see. I used a top stitch needle and sewed and quilted slowly. That's best I can tell you. Some of the newer metallics are much better than the older ones. So, but metallics, because what she's meaning is metallics will break on you every couple inches if you're not careful. But I don't know if it was this kind. It might have been this kind. And this is one of the better. It was a Coates and Clark's, but what it is, it's wrapped around a polyester, so it is protected by the strength. It doesn't have as much glitter, but I think that's pretty good. But some of these that I bought years ago, I thought this was my silver one. It's not. You bought them more than 10 years ago, throw them out and get new ones because the new ones are just so much sturdier. And use top stitch needles, a thick top stitch needle, because that way it makes a thicker hole so it doesn't constantly rub that delicate metallic. Uh-oh, who lost a dog? Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Oh, honey, I'm sorry about your Mastiff. Oh, boy. You know what? Honestly, 10 years is a long time for a Mastiff. That's a long time for a Mastiff. The thing I love some of those big breeds, but I think, they don't live as long. I know my 13-year-old, who is half Jack Russell, half Poodle, she's gone almost totally deaf. She's partially blind. She's slowing down. But we can feel for you, Diane. We've got some other, we've got a couple ladies here that have done rescue. And I know Melissa and I did, and Melissa does large dog rescue. And Grammy, you want to come here, say hi? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. This is my Grommy boy. He's the one that got too excited to see Kiwi and kind of put a couple, can you give me a kiss? Hey, Gromit. He doesn't know what I'm doing, but he knows I'm doing something strange, so he's nervous. But this is my Gromit, and he is supposed to be Shih Tzu and Jack Russell. And I think he is in a way because of his personality. He has the stubbornness of both. And he's smart. Hey, you going to give me a kiss? Give me. No, he says, no. I don't know what you're doing, Mama. I worry. But he loves to go bye-bye with me. And, that got his attention. And, but he's about 29 pounds and built a little bit more like a Basset Hound. And, but he is, he dearly loves me and I dearly love him. And he's trying very hard to stop getting so excited when Kiwi wants to fly. So, you ready? Okay. So, anyway, he was supposed to be my lap dog, but he kept growing. I'm like, oh. So now I have little Blossom, and she is a Shih Tzu Maltese. And it's so funny. I got my dogs from different states, different places, and they're all black and white. But my favorite color greyhound when I had a greyhound was black and white. So I do love that color. So I think I have shown you everything and talked about everything. I had to do some good figuring. Well, I'll tell you about one more thing. Hopefully I brought the papers, so I don't know if I did. Yes, I did. All right. When I was working on my grandson's quilt, my grandson-to-be, I looked for months, and did searches and searches to find a quilt pattern that just kind of did something for me. Finally found it. Turns out I only had the first 2 pages of the pattern. So I have this, the cutting, and this. So I tried looking up the magazine. Well, the problem with that, Diamond is an apricot. Oh, wow. That's the Mastiff? Wow. So, well, she's hardly able to walk. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. It's awful when you have to make that decision, but I know you love her and you want to do the best for her. We'll be thinking about you because I know that time is coming for you, hon. I'm so sorry. But anyway, so I only had part of the instructions. And so I looked at the picture. I said, I've been quilting for 30 years. I can figure this out. Well, so last night, after I finished the stuff about the LaFleur quilt, I sat down and did the figuring out of what I needed to do to finish, because I've done all the components. And you know what? Let me show you this quilt again, because I didn't really look at this and say, oh my God, that's going to be a hard quilt. I thought, I can do that. Sonia's here. Hi, sweetie. You'll get your package soon too. But I looked at this and said, oh, that's really cute. I didn't stop and say, oh, that's going to be tough. I think that's why I start some of the things that I really shouldn't do, because they're above my pay scale. So I had to sit down and figure out. I was running out of fabric on some things, but I wanted to continue the theme. So last night I had to sit there and try to read the cutting instructions. And like one of the fabrics that she lettered the fabrics, and there's a fabric H that I don't even know what that is because I don't have the page that tells you what to do with fabric H. So I had to sit down and kind of work backwards. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, she wants you to cut out these, all these shapes. Now, what do you think she meant you to do with them? And so it was kind of like process of elimination. And I finally figured out what to do, and now I know how to complete it. But I want to see if I can get it done by Thursday. You think so? Thursday evening? I'm hoping. But anyway, but you know what took me so long is I had to make like 70 some half square triangles and quarter square triangles, and then these pieces with a stripe across the middle. So, sure I can. Oh, Bonnie, thanks. Well, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm not sewing it down here because it's cold down in this basement. And I'm so glad I took up the carpet I had down here, because the laminate's so easy to move things around on and keep clean, but it transfers the cold up from the concrete. Even though we put a waterproof and padded underlayment, it still comes up. So since I've not been feeling well, I sew upstairs in my sunroom. And it's a shame too, because I've got this set up so ergonomically that it's faster to sew down here. But I can't be getting too cold. So how is Sonia, hon? How are you doing? Oh, and Sonia, I don't know. I get a chance to show this again. I don't know if you are one of the ones that like the LaFleur quilt that we're talking about doing, because we're going on Sunday, December 30th, we're going to have a sew-in, and you can work on whatever you want. But Bonnie found the most exquisite pattern called LaFleur, designed by Bobby Ashley, and it's an older pattern. It's been around a while, and it was put for free on RJR Fabrics, and so and it's got a lot of applique in it. And what we thought we'd do, anybody who wants to do this and kind of, oh good, I'm glad you're doing well. Anybody that wants to kind of do a project with a little hand holding, we would make it our kind of block of the month. But please remember, if you decide to do this, there is no, you set the pace, you make your rules. You know, this, I always believe you're the one paying for the fabric. It's your rules. So, but anyway, I made up some templates that I could email y'all. And that way I did the work for you. And this enlargement with some instructions. Yep, and don't even worry, Sonia. We all understand that. And you know what you might want to do is download and keep it for a later date too. But I wrote up some new instructions and cutting, gave you some hints here, and listed what kinds of applique you might want to do. But anyway, when we have our sew-in on December 30th, just bring whatever you want to work on. It's just a chance. There is a New Year's Day mystery coming up with Miss Mary Mayhem, who is wonderful. And I used to do quilt testing for her until I realized I'm a bad quilt tester. Now, Bonnie, she's a good one, but I am not any good at it. And so I went ahead and resigned and just stayed as a friend. But on Mary Mayhem, MERRYMAYHEM, MaryMayhem.com, on New Year's Day, she's doing a mystery. And I'm not going to be doing that one. I did the one in August, and you can see that's the quilt that's, over that shoulder laying on the table. And the purple and the chartreuse. And that was a gorgeous quilt. But I figured, okay, that's New Year's Day, and I thought we would stick to our Sunday schedule and do a sew-in. And you can join us or not. I know how the holidays are. I just wanted to make sure I had something for people who, like, I'm not going to be visiting with anybody on that day. So I wanted to give people a chance who didn't have family that day, that we could sit and just bring our snacks and something good to drink and just sew and chat. Oh, that's wonderful, Sonia. We would love that. How did you do? You're finally on your last third of the current test pattern. Wonderful. So next week you'll turn in the results. Yay. Good job. But I tell you what, you learn a lot. I mean, it requires a lot from you. It requires time and effort and material, but you learn an awful lot. Look, my necklace had turned all crazy, but you learn a lot. Just think of it this way. Everything you stretch yourself for becomes something you can improve. Whether it's just your knowledge base, your skill level. So I love it. So anyway, I think everybody that's on here is getting a package. So that is really cool. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, and Melissa, I was hoping you could come over. Well, if you get a day sometime around then, like Monday, if you're off, Mark works. Come on over. We'll sew together. That would be fun. So, especially if the snow is finally fully gone. Oh, I'd love to see Melissa's LaFleur fabric. I'd love to see that. Oh, you might be sick. That would be wonderful. I mean, I'd feel terrible if you were sick, but yeah, please send us a picture, and I would love to have some time to sew with you, darling. So it looks like it's pretty straightforward. It has applique, but otherwise you're just making a whole bunch of 9 patches. We can all make 9 patches. So, and you know what I like about it is during these long winter evenings, it's the perfect time to sit. And, and like I told you, the way I do mine is everything is pre-glued. And so, in fact, there's my little needle. I have it tucked in. Oh, and Kiwi wants to play with my applique pins. I'm not letting her do that. No birdies swallowing pins. And, but with everything glued on it, it just sits like this beside my chair. And when I get a chance to sit there and I feel like working on something, I just pick it up, my pen's right here, and off I go. So it's kind of nice, Be careful when you do your applique that you don't draw it up too tight. You want to make sure it's not loose, but if you draw it up too tight, I'll show you. See how this fleur-de-lis is a little wrinkly. I might have been a little overzealous, but I know from experience that this will press smooth. So I'm not worried. But if it were any more wrinkly than that, I would be going back, clipping threads, loosening up, and restitching. And you know what? This is what I decide. I do not do perfect work. I don't need to. I do work that feeds my soul, and perfection is not what feeds my soul. If it feeds yours, then go for it. And but what I was going to tell you is that every night when I work on this, it just feels like I'm getting something done. It's not like a job that you have to go in the next day and it's all there to do again, or a kitchen that you clean and it gets dirty again the next day. Every little step I take on this is something very pleasing. It's good for my soul. So that's why I like it. All right. Good, Diane. I know you're in Texas. I don't think you can come and do it with me here. Darn, that's no fun. But you know what? I'm going to be traveling one day because Mark and I, when he retires in a few years, we hope to jump in a motorhome and just start traveling. So my hope and wish is that somewhere along my travels, we get to have lunch together and maybe sit and do some handwork in the motorhome together. And I get to meet you in person. Yeah, one day I'm going to meet Miss Bonnie. It might be wherever she moves once she retires. But and who knows, maybe one day we'll all save for a couple of years and go to the Missouri Star Quilt Company or, go see Miss Angela Walters, because she's not that far, like 20 miles away. Hey, that would be a fun trip. So, well, I think I'm running out of steam. I'm sorry. My feet are freezing cold and my nose is running. I told Mark, I'm sorry I'm complaining so much, because I'm like, oh, I don't feel good. But, oh gosh, they'd go nuts having us all there. Although I tell you what, we get Joan, we get, I don't know, we'll go to one of the little shops with her and we'll have a blast. So it's so good seeing you. And next week, look, I will put out some kind of notice, and because I'm not sure whether I'll do a live stream Sunday or Monday or Sunday evening, because I guess, like Bonnie, you probably work on Christmas Eve Monday, and people are going to be real busy on Christmas Eve Monday. So I'll do it. I'll try Sunday, but it's probably going to have to be in the evening, maybe around 7. And if you can't make it, I'm sorry. But I've got an event that, Mucinex, I need something. And I have to be careful because I'm on high blood pressure medicine. So I have to use the high blood pressure medicine safe stuff. You're staying home? So are we. I'm going to my daughter's for Christmas Day. But otherwise, Mark and I said, we're going to take it easy. Because then in January, I've got the Myrtle Beach Quilt Festival the 3rd week. And then Melissa and I are hoping to go to the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Show end of February. And then I've got a retreat in May. This is exciting. So I'm going to rest while I can. So, and Melissa, I need to make a reservation for the Mid-Atlantic. So we'll email and see where we want to stay. In fact, I haven't even made my reservation for the Myrtle Beach Quilt Party. I better get busy. You might not have any rooms left. Your food's in the freezer. Just need to, good for you. Yeah, because you're so good at doing your weekend cooking for special things. Oh, Patty's going to your daughter's Christmas Eve and your son's Christmas Day. How wonderful. Now, is it your daughter or son who is the parent of Kenzie? Because what a cutie. Oh, there you go. There you go. Good job, Diane. Thanks. Diane is always good at giving, looking out for me, giving me good advice. Your son, and I hope her ears feel better. I felt so bad for her. I had ear infections up through teenage, through 18, and even once when I was an adult. And a doctor one time told me, if they had done ear tubes back when you were little, you'd have been a good candidate. It's part of the reason that I am about third deaf. So she's better now. Good. You have 2 sons. Wow. That's great. Well, how is Cooper feeling, Miss Melissa? And Diane 57, we will be thinking of your dear Mastiff pup. And so I love these animals. Oh my gosh, I love these animals. So 2 sons, Patty, I admire you for having 2 sons. I had 1 son. They say the statistics are if you have a son first, you have a higher chance of it being an only child. Oh, his skin allergies. You know what? Blossoms, what is it right now going on? Because her allergies are acting up. Becky and Katie, I will have to, Melissa, I've got to remember to write you. Katie has a friend who's a veterinarian. They were friends through college. And she just mentioned some kind of medicine that she said is much better for allergies. So I'll get that for you, see if it can help. Anybody have anything exciting coming up this week? Any Christmas parties you're dreading or looking forward to? Oh, thank you, hon. I will definitely if I ever forget, because sometimes, I'm like, whoop, it's gone out of her brain. But I will get that. I've got it in the email. Just got to find it. So, and everyone, I hope you all get your packages and enjoy them. And thank you to Miss Bonnie again. I mean, it's so much fun feeling like I'm Santa Claus. Oh, Bonnie, I love it. Maybe you can send us some pictures to the Yahoo, post some pictures on the Yahoo site. I guess y'all saw all the pictures of my grandkids over in the snow and the ornaments and the gingerbread houses. And so that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Oh, good, good. You know what? It's a perfect time. So I really hope that looked like a really good book, Patty. And it now that I think about it, it sounds perfect for you because I think you got the ones of seasons, so you can do sewing for all the seasons. And I think that'll be special. All right. Well, have a good week. Don't work too hard. I know it's a busy time of year. I got Mark to get me gobs of sharp cheddar cheese so I can make my cheese pecan logs. And but try to find a little time to do something just to feed your soul. Because we always think of ourselves last. So we're going to change that. That's one step at a time. We're changing the world. So anyway, well, y'all are the best. I'm going to go make myself a big mug of hot tea with either some orange juice or lemonade in it. Oh, baby. So take good care. Thank you, Diane57. And I'm so tickled to see you showing up. I know you're busy on Sunday. And Bonnie, I love you to bits. I just think all of y'all are the very best. And if I don't get to see you next Sunday, do. Yes, thank you, Patty Chamberlain. Have a great Christmas. And we'll have to tell Busy Pat, we missed you. And somehow I've got to get that Lisa girl in here. And Audrey, got to get Audrey in here. We've got some great new members, and I'm looking forward to chatting with them. And Merry Christmas, hon. Oh, that's right. She says it the British way. Happy Christmas. So I think that's so much fun. You're going to have what do you call them, crackers that you pop and they have the little stuff inside. So that's neat. Yes, I have Skype, but I also have this Google Hangout. Wouldn't that be fun? Because then we can all see each other and we can all chat. Maybe we'll do our sew-in that way. I'll check into it and send you a link. Crackers for sure. I love it. And then you sit around with your crown on, your Christmas crown. So I guess everybody gets to be king for a day. So, I love it. Love it. Well, Anne, I hope you get a chance to have a good knees up. And I haven't told you, Anne, but I have been watching episodes of EastEnders since 1986. I am a big-time EastEnders fan. So, and I went to England once and can't wait to get back. So that'll be fun. All right, guys, take good care. Have a great week. Drive safely and do something to feed your soul. Bye, y'all. You do me the world of good. Thank you, everyone. You are so good. I almost sounded like Tiny Tim. Thank you, one and all. But I do appreciate you. Bye. Have a good week. And I will be able to breathe better and talk better when I come back. I promise. Take care. Bye-bye, guys. Have a good week.